What up? What it do? What it do? So, welcome back. As always, I hope you are doing well. You are staying safe. You're staying sane. And that you've been on this journey with us throughout, the last couple of videos, and that it's all added value to you. That's really what I hope. I genuinely, really do hope you've enjoyed it and that it's actually added value to you. But finally, we get to the actual thing that I've been teasing you guys about all of this time. The actual topic that, we all want to talk about. Wealth generation. So basically, how do you make money and a lot of it? How do we make money and make a lot of it in the fastest way possible? All right. Now, the first thing I'll say is that one thing you need to take note, and I'll get into a bit detail about this, but I want to start off by saying that in order to generate wealth, and understand that generating wealth doesn't only mean that you're rich. It means that you're rich, like you have a lot of money. There's rich people, then there's wealthy people. You know how there's new money and old money? There's rich people, there's wealthy people. That's just the way the world is. I don't make the rules, yeah? But in order for you to generate, wealth, you have to have multiple revenue streams. So in other words, you must have, multiple places where money is coming from. Wealthy people have multiple incomes. Excuse me. In fact, I think it's something like the average billionaire has about 7 or 8 different income streams. The average billionaire. I don't know how average billionaires are. I don't know any personally, but a standard one has 7 or 8. So that's kind of in, like the ballpark figure where you need to be thinking if you have ambitions of having that kind of money, or that kind of, financial stability and impact. So multiple revenue streams. Now I'll go back to the beginning, which is that wealth is actually it's a complex topic, not because it is inherently difficult to make money or difficult to create or generate wealth, but because global economies themselves are very complicated, because there's a lot of moving parts in the global economy. And in order to create wealth, what did I say earlier on? I said you need multiple revenue streams, which means that you're in the global economy. You're in the belly of the beast. You're at the heart of it all. You're in there. You're in different industries, in different countries, at different times, doing different things. So the moving parts of a global economy affect you significantly more than the moving parts of a global economy affect someone like me, who doesn't have, that much skin in a global, like economy game. And that's the thing that complicates generating wealth, that you have to be managing all of these moving parts, and you've got to know what's happening in South Africa because you've got investments there. You've got to know what's happening in China because you might not be invested in China, but you've got a big supply in China who's got a big order for a thing that needs to happen in Canada. And if that thing doesn't happen in Canada, your order for Nigeria is going to be screwed. So you got to be keeping track of what's happening here and there. And then there's unrest in KZN, and then you can't get your stuff from the harbor. And then that has a ripple effect for whether or not you get your stuff, out of the country on time, and so on and so forth, which then has a ripple effect on the orders and the deals you're able to make and how your wealth status looks. So I got into a bit of a rant there, but that's basically the Charlotte's Web of global economies. And that is the most complicated thing about generating wealth, the moving parts of a global economy. That being said, the great thing, however, about generating wealth is that the principles are quite easy. And the reason why I decided to do this particular video last is because a lot of the principles I'm going to share now, I've actually already started sharing when we spoke about budgets, we spoke about saving, and we spoke about good debt and bad debt. So if you watch those 3 videos, you actually will be quite comfortable and have a relatively good grounding to start generating wealth. So like I said, the principles are easy. And the principles of generating wealth, there's really 3 ways, or let me say 3 buckets rather. 3 buckets, 3 sort of steps, right, to generating wealth. You got to make money, you got to save money, and you got to invest money. In that order. Make money, save money, invest money. Now let's talk about making money. In order for you to generate wealth, you have to have money. Like there must be money. You can't have wealth without having some sort of money to start off with. Whether you've got 100 rand, 10 cents, 50 cents, a dollar, a million, however much you have to start off with, however much you're making, you have to find a way to make money. Whatever you need to do it, there's different ways to make money, but you have to make some money. And there's really three main ways that people make money. You can either have a job, like a 9 to 5, you clock your hours, you clock in, clock out, do your job card, timesheet, get paid your wage, get paid your salary, and move on. So you've got a job. Or you start a business. You're an entrepreneur, you're a small business owner, a medium-sized business owner, and you're making money because you work in the business, so you're getting your salary, and you're making money because you own the business, so you also have your shareholding and your dividend payouts. So own a business. The last way to make money is a hybrid approach of the first two, where you have a full-time job as your 9 to 5, but then you also have a side thing that you're doing on the side. You've got like a little side hustle or a side gig that you do after hours or on weekends that brings you a bit of money. So you're doing a bit of both. It's a hybrid approach. All right. And those are the three main ways people make money. You either work for somebody else, you work for yourself, or you do a bit of both. Job, business, hybrid. Really the only three ways you make money. So you can slice it up in different ways inside those three, but really those are like the three main ways to make money. Work for me, work for you, or work for both. But now when you're making money, and coming back to the first thing we spoke about, what did we speak about? We spoke about budgeting. When you make money, it's important that you make enough money so that you can not only live on that money, but then have enough to save, right? Remember, we spoke about budgets, spoke about saving earlier on. So you gotta make enough money in your job, in your business, or in your both, that you can live a good life, you can buy food and, pay for the debit orders and keep the lights on and whatever, and then have X amount that you're saving every month. Then 2, I spoke about save money, right? I we said the three ways are make money, save money, invest money. So now let's go into number 2, save money. So now save money, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because we did a whole long ass video on it. The idea here is that once you've made that money, you've demarcated the money that you need to live on, and now this is the money that I'm saving. It's important that you don't live beyond your means. It is important that you live in such a way that you are able to save, because you cannot build wealth if you spend everything you make. If you spend everything you make, you will not be able to build wealth. Why? Because there will not be a base from which the wealth must grow. There will not be a foundation from which the trees are going to be planted, from which the house is going to be built. And the money that you're able to save is basically the foundation. I just came up with that analogy right now. But basically that money is the foundation, right? Upon which you build the house that is your wealth, upon which you're going to be planting the trees that will then, have fruit and whatever, which will be your wealth. So you gotta save. So you gotta learn to live in such a way that you can save, right? So live to save, I suppose. So that's number 2. Number 3 is investment. So you gotta invest the money. Remember, I said there are 3 steps to generating wealth. Make money, save money, invest money. You have to invest the money that you're saving, right? And this is like it's such an important portion of it, because you can make money, save money, and then lose it all and generate nothing. So you really have to be very meticulous with this last step, which is how you invest that money appropriately in growth driving ventures that are gonna, bring not only what you put in back, but more than that. And the thing about investment is like 5 key things you need to keep in mind here. Is first that when you're investing that money, you're looking for additional income, right? Because you probably already have your business and you have your job. Because remember, this is additional money that you've saved. So you already have your job that you're working on where you're making money. You've got your business where you're making money, or you've got both where you're making money. You're saving also the money. Now you're investing it. So the money you're investing is additional income. It's not really income you need to live or survive. It's additional income, right? So already you're already starting to, find ways of generating an additional or like a multiple stream of revenue. Secondly, it's passive income, which means it's not income that physically actively requires you to be there every day all the time slugging away. It's somebody, like, you're investing in somebody else's business. You're buying shares on the stock exchange. You're getting your dividends. You're getting your capital gains. If it's property, you're getting rental income. If you're flipping properties, you're getting the capital gains from, buying at a low price and selling at a higher price, all those things. So it's passive. It's not active. Like, you're not actively doing it day in, day out, pouring every hour of your day into it. It's passive income. It's high ROI, so it's high ROI income. ROI is return on investment, which basically means that the return that you're getting from that is quite significant. So you're getting quite a large amount of reward for what you've invested. So if you put in 100K, you're getting like 200. You're getting like 500K. Like those are sizable amounts. If you put in 1,000 rand, you're getting 1,500. That's 500 rand you didn't have to do anything for other than just put in 1,000 rand. Now all of a sudden you've got 1,500 rand, right? Number 4 is that it's diversified income. So, basically diversified means that you're managing your risk. You're not just in one industry or one category. You're in technology, you're in communications, you are in media and marketing, you are in construction, you're in agriculture, you're in clothing and textiles, you're in health and beauty. Because you're investing in different things, your risk is diversified. So you might have, think of it like this. You might have interests in a travel company and travel and tourism and hospitality. And then also have something in manufacturing, protective equipment. Then COVID hits and all of your investments in tourism, hospitality, etc. tank overnight because people are grounded. They can't go anywhere, they tank. But then protective gear over there is like hitting a boom. Pharmaceuticals is hitting a boom, and you've also got investments in those things. So they offset the losses you made here, right? And that's the whole idea of, diversification. It just helps you balance out your risk. And then lastly, it's that when you invest your money, you generally look to invest in things that give you a return that is above inflation. Because then that just means that, you're getting more bang for your buck. You're not losing your money in the fact that the cost of living has just randomly increased. So generally you look for things that, which is why people don't really like fixed deposits, because fixed deposits generally do not give you inflation related interest rates. People don't like notice term, deposits. They also don't really give you good interest rates. The general rule of thumb when it comes to investing and to, putting in money and then getting back more is that the higher the risk, the higher the reward. And that's where diversification, risk analysis, and risk management comes in. Because obviously there's higher risk, but then, if you win, you could become a millionaire overnight. And that's kind of what a lot of, all the big oaks, and love to follow on social media, guys have made a lot of money with their unicorn businesses, have done stuff like that, where they just plugged away, built this business, and then they sold some assets, or they got funding and sold in their shares and became millionaires overnight. And there's a lot of examples like those of people who sold their businesses or who got investments and, then they were like millionaires. Or like their companies, boomed and then their shareholding is now worth like a crap load of money. So that's the one thing that you always need to keep in mind, that there's a high reward, but it also comes with a high risk. But anyways, those are basically the principles of that last step, which is investment and investing your money, appropriately. And like I said, all wealthy people, are investors. Let me tell you that. Yes, that's one thing I don't want to forget to say, that it's very difficult to make a crap load of money in the sense of wealth generation and not be invested in other things, in other people's things, which is why there is not a wealthy person in the world right now that you know of, that you can mention to me. And I would challenge anyone to give me an example of a wealthy person who's not an investor, who doesn't either have a VC, like a venture capitalist leg of their portfolio, who doesn't have a private equity firm, who isn't an angel investor, who doesn't invest in startups or something. There is not a single person that you know that you could mention, and I would challenge anyone on that is making a lot of money but just does not invest. I don't think, I mean, even Jay-Z invests. Kanye invests. Black Coffee invests. Black Coffee has a private equity firm. I was watching a video of him the other day on LinkedIn, and he was talking about the new round of funding that, he's been involved in, with his private equity firm, and the businesses, the startups that they're investing in, and why he loves tech so much, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's Black Coffee. Guy's a DJ. But now he's on LinkedIn telling us about private equity firms and like investments in like tech startups. Now that's the man who's trying to, those are people trying to build wealth, not trying to be rich, not trying to live a good life, making people happy with their music. Those are people trying to take it to the next level. And that's basically it, and I'm going to close off with the thing that I started, that the only way to generate revenue, the only way to generate wealth, on that level at least, where you're a wealthy individual, is to have multiple streams of income, to have multiple revenue streams. And remember, I told you that the average billionaire is said to have about 7 or 8 revenue streams that are coming in, active and passive. So you have to keep that in mind. So remember that. I hope this has been, very valuable to you guys. Please watch it again. Please DM me, ask me questions. I love talking about this stuff because I imagine we're all trying to generate some sort of wealth, and we can learn from each other and help each other grow. But remember, you got to make money. And once you've made money, then you save that money. When you've saved it, you then invest it in things that are just going to be popping. Like you're going to be printing money, basically. Printing money. Like legally, I don't mean literally printing money. That's not, don't want people to say I'm encouraging the youth to stop, being, the Reserve Bank. But anyways, this was a long video, but I really do hope that you guys found it valuable, insightful, and that there are nuggets of information in here, that you guys can implement, and think about. And I know that a lot of you, once again, there will be some of you here that are thinking, I'm too young for this stuff. It's flying over my head. I'm worried about calculus. I'm worried about math 1. I'm worried about this and that. And, the volume of work and everything. And that's true. And you're right. There's a lot of, you guys are dealing with a lot of things. But I'm just saying that keep the stuff in the back of your mind. Start actioning some of the things that you can action. Start building the habits you need to be building to generate wealth. Because guess what? Success is not an accident. Wealth is not generated overnight or by accident. People who have generated wealth have done it over a consistently extended period of time. And they've put in the hours. They've done the hard work when none of us were looking, when none of us knew who they were, when none of us cared about them. They were just plugging away. Which is why the people that are wealthy or even rich are not lottery winners. They're not gold diggers or whatever. Like people who struck gold and got lucky. They are businessmen and women. People of like leaders of industry that worked hard, plugged away, and implemented tools like these and lessons like these to generate wealth for themselves. So if these are the kind of people that you look up to, this is the kind of life you want to one day live, I really hope that you take what we have been talking about this past week, or these past couple of days rather, seriously. Anyways, I thank you for your time. DM me, email me, drop comments, like, share. As always, stay blessed. Bye.